get started. I want to welcome everyone to the Enrichment Center Committee meeting for Thursday, March 21st. And it sounds like we have a couple people joining us by phone, so we'll do a roll call here. Laura Bertignoli.
Gene Bevel.
Sharon Harvey.
Teresa Baker.
Tammy Marachek.
Nathan Meyer.
Sharon Anderson.
Okay.
And Jake Gillespie by phone.
Oh, hi, Jay.
Hey, Grandpa.
Hey, Grandpa. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, it's ordered, I guess.
I may have one picture or more next meeting.
Oh, good, good. We'll look forward to that.
We're going to take up a collection, Jay.
Oh, hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. Welcome.
Jay, we're going to take up a collection to buy you diapers.
Oh.
Well, keep them small for right now.
Okay, moving on to consent items. Approval of February 2024 meeting
I
minutes.
move approval.
I will second that.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Approval of February, March 2024 vouchers.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I didn't see him.
Oh,
So.
yep. Any discussion for those?
You saw these?
Yes.
Okay. Then I can put my name on it.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay.
I'll
Public.
have to abstain for the record. I haven't seen those.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay. Public comment. Does anyone have anything? Any public comment?
My friend suggested that on the event days, they're usually held on Saturday, if maybe Lily could come and pick up some people at like whenever it starts and then drop them off for the event and tell them that the bus leaves at noon to take them back. So
Like our fall craft show or
Right,
event
exactly.
or something? Okay.
And she
Okay.
said, she even suggested charging a small fee. And I said, I would present it.
Okay, very good.
It's a good idea because the merry-go-round does not run on Saturday.
No, it doesn't.
I'd like to make a comment and compliment Laura on the class I took and several other people did. Get very, very fun class and very well put together. When she puts on a class, it's a lot of work because she brings all these craft materials that she has from her home. And it was just a delightful class.
Well, thank you, Sharon. We appreciate that.
What was it in flowers?
No, no, that was on making wool felted Easter eggs.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It was real interesting. You should have come to it.
I was taking a nap.
Thanks, Sharon. Anything else? Any other comments, things you've heard? Okay, ADRC, Jennifer.
Yes, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. I just have one quick update, nothing too major, but we do have a funding opportunity to expand evidence-based falls prevention programming throughout our region. So we do have some ARPA dollars that we are working with that have to be spent by the end of September. And so we're looking for opportunities to get some falls prevention programming out into the community. So we did send this out a few weeks ago, I believe. So there's a few different eligible programs on there. Strong Bodies is one of them. Stepping on, Bingo Size. There's a couple other ones that are listed as well. But looking for different organizations, groups, partners that are willing to kind of work on helping to get fall prevention resources out in the community. So we do have a deadline of Wednesday, March 27th to apply by 4:30. And then the grantees will be notified by email at the end of the day on April 1st. So if you know of anyone that would be interested in helping to get a program off the ground, we're willing to help kind of get people trained and at least provide the whatever they're needing for the class, whether it be weights or things like that to help get that class off the ground.
So
I
that's
think
more
that
for,
was the only update I have. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jennifer, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think that's the only update I have. I was kind of looking through our stuff today, and I don't really have anything else to share, so
I
that's
was,
my main one.
I was just gonna ask, so that's not like for the program here that's already going with Strong Bodies, that's for to develop new programs, is that correct?
No, I just applied for the grant.
It could be to use toward already existing programs, like let's say that, we need more trained leaders, or we're running out of hand weights, and we could really use hand weights to kind of make sure that the class is able to run. So it could be helping to support existing programs by getting new leaders trained for that program.
Okay.
Or it could be, let's say a church group wants to take a strong body, offer a strong bodies class. So it could just be a new organization that wants to take something on, or an existing organization. So does that help?
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
it does, and I did already submit a grant request for us to continue with Strong Bodies, because as you all know, it's just Steph and I teaching right now, and there's gonna be challenging times where, we're spread thin. So we're looking for at least 2 more instructors, and the funding would help us send them to the training. So at just one piece of it, and we also do need some more weights. So if we are granted any of that funding, that's what it would go to.
Yeah, and I did see you had submitted something, so that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys know of any other people in the community that want to get something off the ground, I'm happy to connect with them, or if they want to kind of take a look at the grant application, I can send that on as well. So
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
thanks.
Teresa, what about the housing authority? I mean, you have a market right there. I'm wondering if there's anybody that would, be
Yeah.
interested in, taking that on to offer it.
So
No? Can't
they
have?
actually did touch base with Erin, I believe, and I don't know the entire conversation, but
Okay.
but from what Erin had mentioned, it sounds like they just don't have the staff right now, the staff to be able to do a lot with the programming. I think they were interested,
Right.
but they just don't have capacity right now.
So somebody who's a certified leader, couldn't go into, if they aren't able to get out to the programs, couldn't actually go to the site to offer that class?
They
Strong
could,
Bodies?
yeah, if there was someone that could
Okay.
offer it there. I think they were thinking more like, could we offer, like.
Right,
would
right,
we have
under
the
them,
capacity to
right.
be trained?
Well,
But yeah, absolutely, if they had a volunteer, someone that wanted
somebody who is trained.
to run it right there, that would be awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, everybody's short-staffed, that's for sure. It's a common problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. Anyone have any questions for Jennifer before we move on? Okay, operations, attendance statistics.
Yes, so I have the stats page for you. And I'm gonna put my stats page now, I have it. Does anyone have any questions on that? Where in the world did I put that?
Want an extra one?
Stats page, yeah.
Okay.
Is there another?
I thought it was, I just glanced at it briefly, I thought it was a little confusing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
A little is kind of an understatement, because.
oh gosh, I thought this was actually really easy to read.
So we're
I'm
tracking
sorry.
how many hours everybody is here, basically?
Not necessarily hours, but we're tracking attendance. So it's event statistics. So for instance, every category that we have, classes and workshops are together, fitness, health education, off-site bus excursions as bus trips, recreation, social activities. So each one of the offerings that we have falls into one of these categories. So if you look at the top, it says from 5/15 of 23, because that's when we implemented the check-in system, to the end of the year, 12/28/23, we had, well, there's hours at the end, it does calculate hours, but we had total event sign-ins of 4,700, just shy of 4,700. Unduplicated was 362. So what that means up on top, I put an example. There were 177 people, which is shown down here, highlighted in the same color green, okay? Unduplicated means those 177 people attended that particular event, which was fitness, 10 times. So that equals 1,770, and the number duplicated is 1774. So that means there were 4 individual check-ins that took it once and didn't come back for the class. Okay, so that's kind of how that works, is it's unduplicated and duplicated. 60 or over, it's just how many people fell into that category. So it's showing you that, and then as far as hours go, it's showing you that from May all the way, mid-May all the way through December, we had a total of over 11,000 hours, right? If you look at the second event statistics, that's just from the 1st of this year to the March 13th is when I created this report. We already have 8,300 hours.
Yeah.
And if you look even further, we have 57 new people in just those few months that we were open. So this is showing how much we're actually, we're already at duplicated 2,800, where last year as a whole we were just shy of 4,700. So these numbers are showing you that we have more people coming more often and we have new people coming in the door. I will make a simpler sheet.
So the 60 and over and the under 60, I get that. That's easy to follow. The duplicated, unduplicated, even after you explained it, is kind of confusing because the way I look at it is, like if I'm looking at YouTube statistics, because that's what I end up looking at, it says number of viewers and number of unique viewers. Unique viewers basically means how many individual, certain person. So like Gene Bevel showed up. That's just one. He could show up 10 different times as a guest basically, and it says 10. But if he's the only one that showed up, the unique would say 1. That's, I guess, the way I'm.
And this system doesn't obviously do that. So this is how this system reports out. So I can, if needed, I can just by myself take all of these numbers and break them down even further. I think the actual unduplicated is an actual person count. And as it says, 177 people took that one class or that one thing 10 times.
Maybe there was just an explanation of what that means.
What those are supposed to mean from the company that does that, because it's basically, they are saying that unduplicated basically equals,
It's an actual person.
Unique person.
It is. That's what it says.
Okay.
Unduplicated is an actual person,
Yep.
and the count of it is how many.
Okay,
there
so
are.
basically, it's
the
exactly
same
as I
thing.
was saying, is
It's just their language.
Their words are different, but it means
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. But I can certainly simplify it even further for the next time. But what it is, bottom line showing, is we're only going into April, and we're already almost exceeding from May to December of last year, which is wonderful.
Maybe if you have to submit this to the city in some way.
They see it as part of the agenda packet.
I think it'd be good to have
Yeah.
a good explanation, just saying that.
Just the
in
simple,
black and white,
yeah,
just a simple-
black and white of it, yes. And for council members too, they see the packets, they'll see this, but I can certainly just make it layman's terms based on all of this. And I love numbers, and I love all of this,
Oh, yeah.
so I have to remember that I should probably just make it black and white, as Sharon said.
it's nice to see the numbers, and you have to kind of wonder why it is this way, and I think it's what we were
Because-
kind of talking about before the meeting of the weather's been nice enough to drive out.
Well, it's
Well,
hard to
true.
know, but still, it's all good news. I think
Yeah,
last time you
it-
brought
it's-
up, you weren't sure how many, or some council members had said they didn't know how many people come, or
Or
you
what
weren't sure.
happens here,
So
Right,
you
well,
took the
I'm-
trouble to put
Now
that
they
together.
You have to wonder how many of them are actually paying attention
And
sometimes.
that's
I mean,
another thing I meant to comment in
Yes.
public comment, that video that is put
The
on.
reel,
It is very, very
that was
effective.
Vicky, that was
I
all
thought it was
Vicky.
Vicky, that was very nice.
She's our
And-
marketing girl.
Was that the one that's a week at Mac?
A weekend.
Yeah,
I saw that, I pulled up
at
the
the Enrichment
Facebook because
Center.
I'm not on
Yes.
it, but I thought the same thing. I
Yeah.
thought it was really, it was comprehensive, it had
Yeah.
a lot of different
It was
activities that
great.
went on. As a matter of fact, when I was in ukulele yesterday and Jen Heckendorf, and I said, wow, it looks like you have a nice group in guitar,
yeah.
and that's where I happened to see it on there, so it was nice
Yeah,
to.
when Vicky said that, she's like, because the comment was, people don't know what we do here. And she's like, she's like, I can create a reel, but it takes a little time. And I said, I think that's a fabulous idea.
Yeah.
And so it took her a good week and a half or so, because she was going to
Yeah.
all these clips, and then she was showing me how to do all the editing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm really happy she does that.
Yeah,
Because
it was very effective.
Yes, it was.
I wish that the sound would come on, that you wouldn't have to click on the sound to
Oh.
get the sound, because that really made the first time I watched it with the music.
Yeah,
it
I
was-
think that's Facebook, isn't it? Like if you have your sound on Facebook Reels and stuff, because I know like mine is defaulted to no sound, and then I have to choose it. I don't know
No, I
if we
don't
can
think it's that way,
control
because
that.
I have sound on almost all the
Yeah,
time. It didn't-
I don't know. I'll ask Vicky, but I mean, she did the video,
Yeah,
you know,
with
with
the
sound.
sound.
So,
It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a good point.
And it was a great reach.
Mhm.
I believe she has the statistics on the reach too. So yeah, that's good feedback.
Tammy, do we have something similar that we could get? You know, the question as it comes up sometimes doesn't just relate to us in this part of the building, but also the other part of the building. Who would we go to get something similar to this?
Like
Are
a
you
usage?
talking about the expo rentals, Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to
talk
get that
Tom
to,
Hayden's
yeah,
office.
Krista mentioned, Krista is Tom's administrative assistant, so she would, if needed, she would probably be the one to compile the reports on that, but I can see if she can.
Well, would you, because I was here like, you know, this gun thing still bothers
Yeah,
me.
I
But
know,
I came
I
here
know.
last Saturday for this gun thing.
You came?
And they made me pay $5 to come in this place. And it was interesting because I came in the morning and there were cars parked out on the road
Oh,
by
wow.
Pinecrest. There were a lot of people here for this thing. And I came back at 2:30 in the afternoon and this place still was booming. So it kind of attracted my curiosity, and I was wondering, they had run out of food early.
Oh, so are you looking for like attendance numbers of the
Well,
events, or
yeah,
just?
I'm looking at how many
I don't
people
know.
technically use this whole
Oh,
thing. Like you
well-
have here, basically, you're talking about real bodies here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd be able to give us
Well,
those numbers.
Or
they,
just-
they keep track of it though, like this gun thing. They had every one of us register right down. They wrote down
Oh,
everybody
but
who
the-
walked in the
okay.
door.
The reason why I don't
And-
know if Tom Hayden's office would have that though, I get what you're saying, Gene, but the people that were putting on the event were the ones that were asking for the
Yeah,
I know, but
$5.
That's why I asked if
Yeah,
that.
and I
we
don't
could-
know if-
we could get that information from
I'm
them.
sure someone could reach
Because I
out.
was here for an Amish wedding here some time ago too, and I don't know how they keep track or if they do.
Probably didn't.
But the place probably had 200 people here for this Amish wedding. And I was quite impressed, and I kept wondering, you know, people who ask if this place is used. It is used, both ends is used.
Oh, yeah,
And
more
I'm-
and more now even.
when the question
yeah.
was brought up as to how much it costs to heat and light this place, we were wondering if the return on our investment was apples and apples at any point in time, so that we could answer that question, because they must be making money on that end of the building.
Not to hear them talk when he came, the city administrator, Rod Akey. Remember what he said? That they could have events here every day of the year and still not be able to make enough money.
Yeah, that's what he said, that's why I asked the question,
but I-
because I
I-
can't believe that.
I countered him on that when I saw him after that. I said, I was really surprised at what you said. He said, well, it isn't quite that bad.
No, it isn't.
He exaggerated a bit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, part of it is that Expo Center does have obligations to helping, you know, the Enrichment Center here, obviously, with some of the events that we put on.
I'm sorry, I missed the front part of that, I was writing a note.
The Expo Center, that area is utilized throughout the week for
Mhm.
some of the Enrichment Center
Mhm.
stuff, so like
Yep.
if we could pack in, like, say, a wedding on a random Tuesday night, I mean, that would be ideal, but let's face it, that's not always gonna happen either. There's a lot of weddings, so that are trying to get into the Expo
But there's an
Center.
auction here sometimes every single Saturday.
There's auctions that
It
are
seems like
trying to
every
get
other
in,
Saturday.
there's, I mean,
Arnie Lang's
there's
in
wrestling
here with
events
all
like
his
what,
stuff.
every two times a year or something like that? I mean, there's a good amount.
Well, and we've been getting kind of kicked out of that space on Thursdays sometimes too, and we are trying to run our programs now, and that's, so we're putting a time limit. If you want to come in Thursday because you have a Friday, Saturday rental, it's going to have to be when our programs are done.
Yeah.
Especially the fourth Thursday of the month, we have this full, that full, you know, so there's that. But yes, when we are here, you know, we're utilizing it and getting money, which we have to pay back in, of course, and so, you know, the more our numbers keep looking good, it's it
But I
means
mean,
more money.
it isn't that complicated to get the figures from the rentals, how much.
Yeah,
people
I'd
put
have to
in.
pass that off, because I have no idea, like Nathan said, we'll have to check with Tom and Rod and see if they can report it out. I think it would be good for the public to know that.
Yeah, for the
I don't-
public, but otherwise.
I don't know if it's,
What,
yeah,
you know, how useful would it be, because
yeah.
we're not taking the money in from the people that are paying to get in here.
No, and a
No,
lot
but
of
it's-
that money that we're taking in for the rentals there is what's paying for the WPS bills and all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
for the
yeah.
entire building,
Right.
from what Rod
But at
was
least,
saying,
at
so.
least I think I know where you're going. You're bringing it up in our meeting, not necessarily that it's something the Enrichment Center,
Needs
you
to
know,
worry
needs
about.
to work on or have, but to get it out in the public.
Well, but to much of the general public, they don't
Mhm.
make the distinction
They don't make, I agree with that. I
between
still hear people
the
that are
two
Yeah.
parts.
going there and they'll say the Enrichment Center. I said, well, no, that's the you know, so
Mhm.
it's that,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but they do know that we don't manage the rentals.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know that
Yeah,
at
we're
least.
getting
At a
that
minimum, we're
word
getting to
out
that
now.
point, we're getting less phone calls.
Good.
It's streamlined, right, and I think it has a lot to do with our marketing committee and the marketing of the city and the marketing and the wedding planner of that you will call this number to rent the expo. So we're getting there. We're getting a
I'm
lot
gonna
less
say
than ever
there-
before.
There's been a lot of communication
Yeah.
going out there saying, this is two separate entities.
Yeah.
If you want to rent the Expo Center, call
Yeah.
the city attorney's office. You want to get a hold of the Enrichment Center for a class or a session or whatever,
Yeah,
call.
it's
the
getting less and
Enrichment
less.
Center.
Mhm.
Hallie and, even our mayor, Steve Haas, they've been pushing that
Mhm.
constantly on Facebook. If you're not watching the city of Merrill's Facebook page,
Yeah.
it's,
Refreshing, honestly, for us, because that we're not fielding, I mean, we're busy enough.
Right.
We'll get a random email once in a while, we'll just forward it to Krista, and, you know, random call, and we'll just forward it to Krista, so then word gets around.
and there's nothing wrong with forwarding it up.
Yeah, yep, so, but a lot less than before, so the marketing is working, which is good. But yes, so Gene, I can mention it to Rod and Tom or Krista and just say, hey, if you start compiling things, people may be interested to know how much it's bringing in.
And maybe I think that's something that Festival Grounds Committee, because obviously
Oh,
they deal a
yeah.
lot with the Expo Center.
Mhm.
I think that might be
An
a
avenue
part of
too,
it.
maybe?
Well, that might be a part of their report. I can't remember. I can't say the last time I actually looked at a Festival Grounds Committee report.
Okay,
So.
yeah, maybe festival grounds too. Yeah, I'll let Tom and Rod deal with that.
I just wanted to share, this is something I think I may have texted you a while back, Tammy, but I just thought it was, for me, just helpful. It was a quick visual. It's from the Central Wisconsin Cultural Center. Maybe I brought it up in here before, I don't know. But
Oh, you showed me.
yeah,
Mhm.
it was kind of like a fundraising thing. But these numbers up here are just, you know, how many visitors, how many visitor increase, how many classes they held.
Well,
You know, that, it just kind of popped.
Simplified.
It's simplified and it's easy to see, and it was a way, it was sort of like their end of the year thing. So I'm happy to pass that around and maybe you
Yeah.
can make a copy after.
I
if
was
that's
gonna
of
say,
interest.
yep, we'll make a copy, and then that could,
Wanna
you
see
know,
that?
Laura, I could even do that in a monthly newsletter,
Yeah,
halfway
I
through the
think that would
year.
be, yeah.
And just do some bubbles and make things,
Graphic,
yeah,
Yeah,
simple.
because I think what you did, thank you very much with all those numbers, I mean, just to show the increase in a short time, I think is great, you know, and I think
to be
there's
so
so much
visual.
word of mouth, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
that,
for sure.
it would be good for everyone to get the newsletter, or that gets
Yeah,
to see that
yep,
kind of thing.
Yep, so I'll make a copy of that at the end of the meeting, and then I can, yeah, maybe halfway through the year I'll do that.
Good.
Like, you know, in June, and just say,
Be
hey,
good for
here's where
June
we
and
are in
December.
June,
Yeah.
and then here's where we are at the end.
Yeah.
And then if people like to see all these numbers like I
Yeah.
do, they can ask me.
But that's just a
So,
different
sorry,
format. Yeah.
overanalysis,
I don't
but
know.
kind of my thing.
This is good for the committee.
Appreciate you
Yes,
doing it.
yes.
It is, and
Yes.
the questions that
Council.
get asked,
I just did have one question.
Yes, of
on the-
course.
On the upper, the first 7 months, what was socializing? Like one person?
The one person socialized.
I just wondered what that.
12 hours.
I
Was
don't
that
know.
me when I came in and stayed all day?
She might have put you in, that's a very good question.
Is that one of the things on there, socializing?
Well,
Yeah.
it's not
Is
in
it?
the.
Yeah.
it's
No, no,
not-
I mean on the
On the-
check-in,
Oh.
things that we press.
I don't.
Wasn't too sure about that.
Well,
I will look to
according-
see what
According to
category
this, Sharon
fall.
was here for 12 hours.
Now, that's possible.
No,
We
I
so
will, I'm
appreciate
gonna
you
put a
being
star
here.
by that one and see who,
Who or what?
and what, and who,
Was that when
yeah.
I was looking for mushrooms out of the?
Could have been, you were doing our landscaping off and on for that.
Weeds and stuff.
Well, if she stays much longer, put her to work.
Right.
Don't talk about me.
Oh, that's funny,
Okay,
that's
roll.
funny.
Any other discussion on attendance?
No.
Okay.
Tammy, just two things. I don't have the report in front of me right now, but at the bottom, you said either 47 or 57 new people since the first of the year.
57
Yes,
people in total.
57, and that was just from, well, the first of the year to midway through March only.
Does that mean people that got the little card, that's the barcode that, for how you check in, is that how you measure that?
Yes.
Those new people?
Yes, new people, yep.
Then my
Yeah.
other comment, it may have been mentioned here, but, you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Is it possible to graph some of these statistics? If
kind
I'm
of
thinking of city council members, it's a quick picture for them to look at rather than trying to analyze columns of data. Is that-
Yes, you're right. That's what Laura just passed around, which obviously you aren't able to
That's what I
see.
thought.
It's like a bubble chart, and so, yeah, I'll try to recreate that for ease of looking at.
Yeah, I thought that's what was mentioned.
And I think he has a
That's
good,
all.
I think he has a
Thanks,
good
Jay.
point too of maybe, if Jay has a good point of, showing that to the council members, cause that might be easier, that might give them a better look at, oh, hey, something's actually, you know, things are happening down there, instead of giving them this, because let's face it,
You
we
probably
see
see
enough
so
of
many
these as
things like
council
that, and
members
just
as
glance
it
at
is,
Facebook.
so.
Okay, general agenda items for consideration. Continued discussion of mission and vision statement for approval.
Okay, so I have up on the board the mission that I had proposed last meeting and everyone seemed to like. I don't want to just, hopefully you had some time to think about it and process it and see what, if we want to stick with that. And then the vision was, I think, some of the committee members had added safe to it. I think it might have been Jay's suggestion to add
It was
safe.
between myself and Jay.
Okay, and
Yeah, what was the reasoning in that?
So, the reasoning for that is, there's a lot of places that are happy around here, right? The park's a happy place, but is it always truly safe in today's world? I mean, let's face it, today it's all, like, this is a safe place. This is a place where someone can go if their home life isn't always up
That's
to
true.
snuff. So that's kind of, we want people to feel that way. We want them to feel safe here. And to just sit there and say the word safe makes people sometimes just feel safe.
Well, I just question because I always take offense, I guess, when I go to the doctor or whatever, they say, are you safe at home?
Feeling safe, yeah.
But some,
What?
and I guess
What is it?
there's a reason that they have to ask that, is
Yeah.
because, let's face it, some people don't feel safe
Yeah,
at home.
that is
So
true.
that's,
I'm privileged.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
there's a lot of us that are privileged in this world, and we don't realize it until we meet someone who hasn't had that kind of a privilege.
And I think safe to me also means that regardless of your person, regardless of,
Regardless of who you are.
who you are as an individual,
You're welcome.
that you're welcome and
And
safe here.
respected and.
And respected and accepted.
Yeah, accepted.
Just for example, I had my dog in the park behind the library, behind the middle school. And I watched a drug deal go down.
Oh, geez.
And I hid behind a tree because I didn't want to be seen.
Oh,
And as soon as they both left, I called the police, but I've not been back to that park.
oh, yeah, so point taken, yeah.
So safe, I think, is extremely important.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah,
for
I'd say
Jay,
that-
and if Jennifer's still with us, just so we can read that, so they, since they're not
Yes,
here to see it.
Oh, okay, so the mission that we have current is to improve lives through social, physical, and educational opportunities. Now, again, that's kind of fluid, that's what I just threw out, everyone seemed to like it, but now we've had a month to kind of sit on it. Is there anything you would change, any words you would take out?
I would not, because that's exactly what this place is
I
supposed to
like
be.
it.
Okay,
And like you said, it is fluid.
yeah,
The-
and easy to remember, your mission should always
I'm
be.
satisfied with it.
Okay, thank you, Jay, yeah, okay. Okay,
And then the vision was to be, you said that, to be that happy and safe place.
right, and everyone comfortable with that, now that it's defined a little bit more?
Well, the rule for it is you're supposed to be able to remember them without reading
Right,
them.
right. Too many words?
I'm not
So
sure
make
that
it short
applies
and
to all of us.
We should practice it multiple times and
Yeah.
it'll.
Well, I think the vision should be easy to remember, Gene,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, do you look for a motion for that?
I think we should, because we're
I would
changing,
move to approval of the mission, vision. Are we going to do something with the core values?
I think
that's on for discussion.
I think for today,
now.
because we talked last time about the mission, the vision, we should and we've had a month to think about
So for
it.
today, then my motion applies to the mission and vision vernacular as it's published up there.
Okay.
I will second that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Motion carried.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's take a look at our current core values. Do you mind if I sneak this? Okay, so if you look here, our current core values are include, encourage, volunteer, and create. Okay? So some of those may still hold true, but I would like for us to brainstorm some other core values. And your core values support your mission and your vision, okay, and what we kind of offer here. I think I'll write some up as we're brainstorming, but really I'll put a few to get started, and then I think it'll get the kind of the brainstorming going a little bit. And I think that core values should, again, support our mission and vision. So if we're looking at a happy and safe place, what words would come to mind, right?
Support, respect.
Okay,
Accept.
okay, yep, so let's just, I will start putting them up here, and then we can decide. We probably should have not a really super long list, because a lot of times the words will kind of play the same meaning, so. Did I hear you say respect, Laura?
Mhm.
That was one of mine too. Okay, what else?
Accept, we talked about
We
that,
talked
being
about accept.
safe.
Yeah.
I would just add maybe like welcoming.
Yeah,
Again, I think you kind of talked about that, welcoming of everybody.
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Anybody else? I'll give a few that I had. We'll decide if we put them up here or not, but again, this is brainstorming. So there's, I feel like a lot of people who even come in here are very kind. You know, they're kind people. Kind kind of goes, you know, in with that happy and safe place. You know, kindness. So I'll just put kind here. Anything else?
Well, I think you should somehow work in either fun or pleasure or something, because we want to do that too. Like, I'm definitely taking that class.
Creativity.
Oh, that's good.
Which is one of current, is
That's
create,
current,
but
yeah.
creativity would.
Because a core value is accepting everyone's creativities. Not everyone can create the exact same way or wants to create even the same
I'm
way.
proof of that. I can't tell you how many projects that I made that did not look anything like the instructors. About imagination. I just would that come under creativity.
Are you looking for a list that we would cut down to a
Yes.
certain?
Yes, we're brainstorming right now, and I'd like it to be 4. I think, again, we should be able to, you know, it could be more. Core values could be more because they're supporting both of those things. The one thing I'm going to throw in that I think I see every day from Vicki, from Steph, myself, is compassion. So that I feel is a huge part, and that's not something you just purposefully try to do. It's who you are.
So
Right.
are you looking for these to be verbs or nouns?
We'll
or-
figure that out too, like because if you remember, Jean, when we first did it, it was instead of just include, I think is one of ours, it was inclusivity.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard to say, so we just said include. So yeah, we'll kind of narrow that down, but, so we could put that down too. Even, and that's okay, if some of our current ones are working for us, there's no reason we can't keep them, right? And then compassion.
So one of the current ones is volunteer. We certainly have volunteers here, I guess. I don't know if that's of value.
But that's not a main, who are the volunteers, the quilters?
Well, yeah, and
people
it's,
that do.
yeah, that one I've always been kind
Yeah,
of,
'cause
they are volunteering,
Yeah.
and that might fall under it's the
Right.
social connect
Yeah.
of it, right? That
Right.
people, and we have a really strong core of volunteers, so,
Right, but that's not something that we should be, I guess I would have to push back on volunteerism being a part of our core values, because let's face it, if you're telling someone, hey, a part of our core values is you volunteering here,
Yeah.
basically, you're gonna get a lot of pushback from a lot of people.
Right, right.
Only 5% of the population, I would venture to guess, even volunteers anywhere, including their church, for crying out loud, their kids'
but we
schools.
value,
We value it, but that doesn't.
we do value it, and, you know, it's been a part of our core values for a long time. We've never really, you know, heard otherwise. I think it was just more of making sure people understood that, you know, we have opportunities other than participating here, and we value
Right, but I don't
the
think
volunteers.
I don't think
but-
it needs to truly show up in that. It can be a part of what we do still, obviously.
Yeah.
Everything that we talk about is obviously a part of this, but that doesn't always mean, I mean, you could literally put volunteerism into include, because you're including them
Yeah.
being a huge part of what you're doing, so.
Okay,
Well,
any,
there's some more C's that are important if you wanted to go that way. The 3 big C's are commitment, collaboration, and cooperation.
I have those on my sheet too. So, you know, collaboration, should we put that down, like to collaborate? And what I'm gonna do is, because we
Commitment,
are,
Cooperation, collaboration.
Cooperation, that was.
what we are gonna do is just, you know, sit on these for a little bit, and then in our next meeting, we'll finalize them, okay? So we'll try to get down to about, I think 4 is a good number. And not that we, you know, you don't wanna get too lengthy, especially on the front of our page, but we could pick like the top 4 that we have. Some of these all kind of,
Work together.
yes, they
Mhm.
kind of work together, so we're gonna find that really, like volunteering is inclusive, and, you know, all of those types of things, so,
I don't mean to be redundant, but are we going to decide whether we want the vernacular to be in verb form or noun form? Because it makes a difference in the way it's interpreted.
well, yes, and we had done that with what we have now. We took them down to, you know, the inclusivity, we just said include, you know, so we can decide on that by next time too, how we want that, you know, to look.
But at looking all at those, and I see those as being more verbs, all of them,
Mhm.
would you say?
Well, compassion is a noun. Respect,
Have compassion, yeah, I suppose.
respect can be a verb. But include, I don't, that kind of sounds strange in that group as a,
To me, include and
Inclusive.
acceptance to me kind of work together.
you know,
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I prefer the acceptance over the include
Yeah, so this is kind of one and the same.
Mhm.
Mhm.
personally.
Kind of like compassion and kind.
Acceptance was a word that I thought was important.
Okay.
I didn't
so
hear.
He said acceptance is a word he thought was important.
Okay,
Compa-
okay.
compassion
yeah,
and kind
kindness and
kinda-
compassion are
yeah.
kind of the same,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I think compassion is more impactful maybe of a word, even though it's essentially the same as kind.
Mhm.
Kind's easier to remember, so, you know, and kindness matters. I think, and again, if you go to look at core values of any organizations, they're all over the place. It
Yeah.
depends on who you are,
Yeah.
you know, but in our space, these core values make sense.
Speak to, yeah.
Mhm. And the collaboration part is huge because we don't do these things alone. Look at our workshops, look at, you know, our, Strong Bodies for a while was under the UW and then we took that over the extension. You know, we work closely with the ADRC, you know, all of the organizations, so collaboration is huge for us. So yes,
well, you see, the difference in some organizations, core values are written out as goals. You know, goal number 1 would be to make sure that we demonstrate compassion to all of our
yes,
citizens.
they're linked, yes.
In our case there, all you're using is one singular word to be your
Right.
goal, so to speak, under core values.
Yeah, that's very true. They're very long-winded, so not that we couldn't have that behind the scenes, we could have that, you know, for
But that's
us,
what's understood.
but it's
anyway.
a little easier, yeah, so. Anything else? And what I would hope that in the next month, or even week, if you're in here and you think of some things, just tell us and tell me and I'll get them written down and stuff so that we have a list going into next meeting, and then we can take that list and grab the top 4 and still have it represent and support our mission and vision.
I think letting everyone think over the next month would be a valuable tool.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
time, you know, you never know when something might
Yeah,
pop.
yeah, that's true too. So, okay, I think this is a really good start though. Does everyone agree that? Okay, very good. So we will solidify that in the next meeting, the core values. So, okay, thank you.
Okay, healthcare discussion and decision. Well, way back when we talked about it, I just started scratching notes about things, different potential, just brainstorm again, different things if of possible interest. So I can pass this to you, Tammy, but American Red Cross, Heart Association, Cancer Society, diabetes, you know, I mean, this could be a huge list, obviously. Bike repair, I think you had talked about, safe riding, emergency preparedness, mental health, yoga, lung, diabetes, So
So that's kind of
local gyms,
it's kind of
ADRC.
the who, right?
Right.
The who of who we want here.
who we talk, yeah, because we
Okay.
kind of, so I'll, that's
That's-
just a,
That's a great list, yeah.
you're welcome to pass that.
You know, back when we were ministry at the hospital, we had a couple really healthy health fairs. that I think
Like a
were-
lot of people, a lot of vendors
A
and,
lot of them that were really extremely well done. They were done in the evening, if I remember correctly, but we had so many good things showing with a lot of vendors, but we had so many people show up for them. And that was, ministry was good at that. That was who owned our hospital.
Right. Okay, so what I was thinking for the health fair is kind of, okay, first of all, who are we gonna have here? Where is it gonna be? Obviously, in our expo. When? Is it gonna be during our business hours? So that we don't have to have a Saturday, and coordinate all that. How big do we want it to be? If we want it big, that's months and months of planning. If we would like to reach the target demographic of what we're thinking of, which is pretty much a lot of the people who attend here and are in the community, then we could have it as part of our regular day activity, and we could, you know, have it be whatever day of the week we would think it would be good. On a Wednesday, we're gonna have this health fair.
And that would be easier, I can see that, after the week. And I think, you know, with the people that come here, the people we target or and are coming here every day, it maybe would be good to target that group.
Especially
Because
to
then they'll
start
tell
with.
their friends, and then, you know, we're, of course, we'll market, there'll be marketing for it. We wanna not have it too soon that we can't market the event for the public to know.
It wouldn't include families or, you know, people with young children.
Right,
but-
right.
Right, but just to start off with.
Yeah,
just to
and that
gauge.
really for us, who are we, right? Who are we? Who are we targeting? Who is our focus?
And it would be a way to highlight the programs that are here
Yes,
already.
absolutely, yeah. Jay, did you have something to add?
No, I mean, if our target group is the people that come, then it probably should be during our business hours.
Okay, yep.
Is there a day of the week that nothing else is going on?
No. No, but that's why if we plan accordingly enough, we would just have a day that didn't have our activities. A Wednesday is a kind of one of those days we might be able to do that, but if we have enough time, then we can plan accordingly to say this day is gonna be our health fair day. And from this time to this time, and, you know, these are the organizations that'll be represented, and this is what we're gonna do, and.
so when we're thinking about when, in my
Yes,
mind,
when.
this is like a big endeavor.
It is.
So to me, it would be more like, I don't know that summer would be the best time, I don't know.
Honestly, I would say the earliest you would do this would be September.
I was gonna say fall.
Well, and
at the
let's take a
earliest.
look at what we have in September. We have the Festival of Quilts,
Yeah, that's huge.
which is huge. And then we have our fall, very large fall event.
Yeah.
And then we get into our holiday outreach programs in November and December.
So October maybe? Or October is a bad month too?
I can look in October. We have August, you know, I think September, October is our fall craft show, you know, within that time, and then event, but yeah, we can look into the fall. Everyone's back in a routine.
Right.
If there's gonna be a month, it might be October.
Well, and you gotta think, if it's during the week, small, you know, few of the people that are on the list, you know, it go small to start with and then
Yeah,
expand it as we go.
Yeah, yep, so October might be the best month.
I was thinking some events I've been to have breakout sessions where you could, you know, sign up or indicate what would be most interesting to you at certain times. Like if we could break up a little bit,
Oh.
use this room, use the other room.
Okay, okay.
You know, for certain types of things.
Okay, yeah.
Like a
So
little
the
mini
people who
workshop.
are coming, they would conduct some type of a more of an information session or
Right,
whatever.
Right, not just like a vendor.
Yeah,
vendor
yeah,
table or
actual,
whatever. Right,
okay,
Actual,
yeah,
Hmm.
I like that.
But I think
Would this be where we could have like something to eat over the noon hour? for the vendors and also for people that are coming to make it more that they may stay morning and afternoon? Just a thought.
Okay,
Like an all-day kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, there'd be, if we're talking about presentations, that may take up more than just a half a day.
right.
And not that we would be serving the food or whatever, but
Right.
maybe bring in somebody like polka dotted pie or whatever. I don't know, just a thought, given that we have like kitchen
Yeah,
facility there.
yep, no, that's a good idea, Jay. Because, right, it's not just gonna be a 2-hour health fair.
Mhm.
It's gonna be hours, 4 to 6 hours of a health fair, however long these people that we're reaching out to
Would come and
wanna
stay.
be here, right? I
right.
think that's what we'll have to define first, but if it is going to be even 4 hours from 10 to 2,
Mhm.
then we could have a lunch available.
Well,
Which might bring in more people.
yeah, it might,
Food does that.
and I envision, people coming and going, not staying for the whole time.
Yes, exactly,
right.
exactly, yep, that's very true. And I don't know that we would, I just have to say this, I don't know that we would pay for all the food, I think it would be food that would be available for
For them to
sandwiches,
purchase.
right.
yeah,
I agree
so,
with that.
yeah.
But, that was my thought too.
Oh,
You
okay,
could buy a lunch or something.
yes, okay,
But
perfect.
you still should
Coffee
check
and
with
donuts.
Aspirus to make sure they're not planning one,
Oh,
because it's not gonna work out well if
We're
we
not.
overlap each other.
We're not planning one.
You're
I'm
not,
sorry?
at
We're not
Aspirus,
planning out there.
okay,
The powers that be said no.
right,
oh.
I can't hear you, sure.
I said the powers that be said no,
yeah,
Said no.
because we asked.
Okay.
What were you going to have?
A health fair.
Really?
But Aspirus doesn't want the people to make all the decisions. Said no. But
Weird.
they've said no to a lot of things that we used to do that we don't do anymore.
right, right.
Well, we're having a party next week.
I know, the reception.
Budget cuts. Gotta do it where they think it counts. Apparently a party's more important.
Does Aspirus own St. Luke's, or does St. Luke's own Aspirus?
That I don't know.
Because I think it makes a difference.
I know the reception is to encourage people to support the foundation, so that's important.
And I haven't
Yeah,
seen
people
anything, like
party.
Vicky's really good about looking out at events and who's offering what and everything else, and we haven't seen any health fairs anywhere offered, and we like to be able to offer things that not everybody's
Right.
craft shows,
And
there's too
I
many
think
craft shows.
If we make things really fun and attractive, like I was just thinking off the top of my head, how about in one of those little presentations, you could have how to make a healthy charcuterie board, or, ideas for that, that are healthy. Just things that are kind of fun.
So we could ask whoever's attending if they, if they would have that at their booth or something, or are you talking us?
Like a
Because-
breakout session.
A little breakout session.
breakout
It would be
session
short,
of
like some of
healthy
these breakout
foods.
sessions could be very short,
Mhm.
wouldn't have to be long.
Yeah, okay,
But like, I saw, Auntie Ray's offered one of these, you made your own, this
Oh,
would be
yeah.
that. But she charged $60, I mean, I'm not gonna go to something like that for $60, but just to get some ideas and to spark your interest and whatever.
Perhaps that could fall under like a dietitian,
Yeah.
Yes.
nutrition.
Because, they even do, boards, big boards for meals, like show
Mhm.
healthy meals.
yes, exactly, like your
They're-
plate and
Yeah,
what,
they're pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah, they are very cool. So, yeah, even if I think a nutritionist or dietitian is perfect for
Or
that.
we could ask a dietitian what their idea would be of something
Right.
like that, or.
Yeah,
Now, when we had our last board meeting at the hospital, there were some volunteers who said they would be happy to volunteer and come and help.
okay, that would be
And
awesome.
Jane said that would be fine.
Oh,
Because
oh,
they'd be doing it on their
okay.
own time, it wouldn't be hospital sponsored.
Okay, perfect. Okay, any other ideas on that? So we'll move forward and decide, we'll look at October, we'll check, the schedule, I'll work with the girls and see where we can possibly fit that in, and then and that's gonna be here before we know it. So we're gonna need to get some legwork going and reaching out to different local, you know,
Shelley at the health department would be good, because this event that I put on was through a hospital, the hospital that was here at the time, Holy Cross or whatever it was. And she was really helpful in not really, I don't know, I suppose it was as the health department.
Sure.
She did a lot of printouts for us and all that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'll reach out to that whole group, like we're part of, you know, a whole bunch of us organizations, and she's on that too. So I'll
Yeah.
reach out to that whole group and say, this is what we're thinking. You know, what are your thoughts? Any suggestions? Can anybody help? Will anybody come?
And I'll just
and have a booth and, yeah.
bring up Merrill PT again.
Yes,
That Mike
yep.
had mentioned about even doing individual, just short assessments. So I mean, I think that he could
Yeah.
maybe do some kind of breakout.
That would be great
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That would be
If he
great.
was available and interested. yeah.
chiropractors are usually
Yes.
available for that too.
Yeah.
Would that be something, you know, that last business there, and it used to be, I don't know, it's like an apothecary now, you know, on Main Street?
Oh.
Next to,
Oh, I gotta get a call.
the more net, you know, it's got,
Yeah,
what's the name of it?
is it,
Something
Used to-
apothecary.
Something apothecary, it used to be like the.
it used to be the mustard
Mustard
seed or
seed,
something?
yeah,
Okay.
that.
Oh, well, Sharon goes there, actually.
Yeah.
Haven't you stopped in there a little bit?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Hi,
is that
thanks so much, Teresa.
Yes.
something healthy, alternative
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know.
Yes, and because I was thinking of the people from Golden Harvest too,
Golden
that, you know,
Harvest,
they're into some of the wellness but that's a good one
But
too, that,
she's like a local
yeah, she's
business,
low,
so-
yeah, yeah.
She is smart. She is very smart.
And I don't know if, you know, again, this is more work, and if you need our help, I mean, I'd be happy to try and do some things, but the, like a raffle baskets or something, if people wanted to do donations from all these places, and we could raffle
Oh,
off
if
kind
we
of
could
a-
ask them if they want to do raffle
Yeah,
baskets,
I mean,
okay.
or that we could put things together, you know, we could, if they had something to put into a basket, and then we could maybe
Oh,
put a
give
few
it to
together,
us,
and then
okay.
we could raffle, I don't know, just.
Yeah, I think my license might cover that. I might have to get a state license to do
Oh.
raffles. But I will look, but I'm almost sure I need to get a different state license for that.
Okay, well then that's fine. I was
But I'll
just
check,
brainstorming.
I'll check. Because I have a license for all of our quilts and everything. I don't know if
Mm.
raffle baskets fall within that.
Okay.
So I'll check though.
I would assume they fall under some sort of gambling,
Mhm.
license.
People like the freebies though,
Yeah,
too, the
yeah.
free pen, the free.
Well, right,
the
and
free-
maybe that's all is needed.
And
just a
and the way we could get around that without having to do that is to have the individual, you know, recommend that maybe a raffle basket at their booth would be
Oh,
a
there
draw
you go.
as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Because they can get away
That's a
with
good idea.
that, but
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, those are
Last
great.
week, there was an economic summit in the expo center, and Elsa Duranzo, who's the economic development director for Lincoln County, she's very detailed in terms of just physically how to set up a fair and things like that. I'd be willing next week to talk to her to see if she can just give us some thoughts on how she did it physically, you know, getting everything so it looks nice. If that's something, Tammy, you'd be interested in.
Yeah, you and I will
You may
talk
know.
about, yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'll talk to you about that after a while. That would be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion regarding healthcare? Do you feel like you have sort of the basic parameters?
Yeah, I think we'll start with that and see where we go. And I'll let you know if I need any help reaching out to certain businesses.
Okay, any other discussion for next time? Thoughts?
We'll solidify our core values, right?
And I guess do a review of healthcare, where we're at with
Yep,
contacts.
follow
and
up on
such.
that.
Okay, date and time of next meeting, you had April 18th at 2:15 again.
works.
Okay,
It'll be springtime by then.
yeah, like it.
Yeah, after the election too.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
All right, so I guess we're ready to adjourn. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Second, Sharon. All
Okay,
in
thank you,
favor, say
everybody.
aye.
That was a
Aye.
great
Opposed?
meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks Jennifer and Jay for joining us by phone.